Welcome back to Two Doctors Homestead. My name's Daniel, and this is the first video in the new studio. We'll see what the sound's like, see how the light turns out. Got my Roman guys set up. Used to fight in that armor. It was good times back in the day. I want to talk about AI. Before I do that, hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Hope you have a great New Year, great Christmas, whatever you celebrate. It's that time of the year to celebrate. But ironically, as I was building my armor stand, setting up my Roman Legionnaires, I was thinking a lot about AI. Just wanted to jump in, talk a little bit about AI in case it's not on your mind. It's something that's certainly not going away. In fact, a lot of big companies are investing a ton, a ridiculous amount of money into it, and we sort of have to, because when you look at places like China, they're also investing a ridiculous amount of money into it, building entire data centers dedicated to AI. So if we don't, they will. It's sort of the new nuclear arms race. But let's talk about AI. There's a lot of good that could come from AI. AI in every day, we already see it, right? When you're searching stuff on the internet, you get on Google, you do a search, you get that AI summary, right? It's indexing, it already knows all the stuff on all the pages, and it can read it and do a summary or ingest it and do a summary for you. How long till the internet just goes away, right? If all we're reading is the AI summaries, how long until it just replaces the internet entirely, right? We're talking now. How far into the future is that? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? If you have a blog, if you have a web page, if you're pushing that information out there, how long until it's just AI? The rest of the internet's mostly gone. That's a possibility. I'm just throwing some possibilities. Talking good and bad and possibilities of what we may see in the future and why it tends to scare me. I think AI, it does, I'll admit, the possibilities tend to scare me. Maybe we talk about what you can do about it. I'm not really sure on that. ChatGPT, you already see ChatGPT. Good news, no more writing papers. Right, bad news is how long before people forget how to write papers, right? You get on ChatGPT, it'll spit it out. It's only going to get better on all of this stuff, right? It's only going to get better, only going to get more powerful. The amount of money we're spending on this to move it forward as quickly as possible is a little staggering. And AI, here's the thing. If AI can type, it can talk. I don't think you see a lot yet of applications of AI speaking, but if it can write a paper, 100-page paper in 2 seconds, it can certainly have a conversation. Then I've talked to people about this, had conversations about it. They might say, okay, well, that's not real intelligence, right? But if it can write a paper that's at least somewhat unique and coherent and it can have that conversation, at what point does it not matter if it's real intelligence or artificial intelligence if you can't tell the difference? And if it's not there yet, how long? How long before it will be? So ChatGPT common every day. Hear a lot about advanced general intelligence and what that means, and you're seeing it in the robotics. You hear about the robotics coming out. You can have robots at home doing dishes. The idea of general intelligence is they're not training it how to do each individual task. It's the idea that it can come into the home and it can do your dishes and it can make your dinner and it can sweep the floor and it can do all these. It can learn, right? It can do a wide array of tasks. Unlike a self-driving car that's purpose-built to watch the road and stay on the road, the general intelligence is going to be able to learn a variety of tasks, and you're going to be able to teach it things. So we're not far from that. If we're not there already to some extent, it's just going to continue to grow. We already hear about self-driving cars, self-driving taxis, delivery trucks. Won't be long now. I suspect whether it's years, I don't think it's decades, years maybe at most, where we see more wide-scale adoption of self-driving cars. People won't be driving cars anymore. There is some percentage of the population that makes a living, whether you're driving a truck, a delivery truck, driving a taxi, people that drive cars for a living, that's going to go away, right? And a lot of the stuff, as we push to the dark side of AI, is that if nothing else, it's going to take jobs, and it already is, and we expect it to continue to do that. AI and robotic construction, I don't think we see a lot of that yet, but it won't be long, especially when you add the robotics. When you give AI a body and it can start building things, you're going to have more structures built, not just 3D printed concrete structures, but I think becomes a very logical application if it has that level of precision. And if it doesn't now, how long? How long until it does, where AI starts taking over construction, starts building things for us? Once again, good and bad, right? You rent the AI robot and it builds your shed in your backyard. Pretty cool. Losing jobs is the dark side of that, right? So plus side, minus side. AI traffic lights, I'm kind of looking forward to that. How long until AI is capable of just monitoring all the traffic lights? Have you ever sat in an empty intersection at a red light? How hard would it be to have AI watch and be like, oh, it's clear, go through, right? I can see AI easily fall into that kind of an application, as it would work on your regular day-to-day. AI in medicine, we're already seeing it, and we can see the potential. Once again, great potential for AI in medicine. Also a dark side, right? Diagnostics, there's something called medical episode groupers, and that's a thing that's not new, that's not AI, but it's where they're trying to bring computers and some kind of intelligence into things like medical diagnostics. And give the short version because I don't want to go on all day on it, but imagine you had 1,000 people went to the doctor, right? And you know exactly, 1,000 people all had a headache and went to the doctor, right? Well, that happens at some point throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the year. So you look at all those 1,000 people and you say, what was given to them, right? What was the diagnostics? And you can start to look at averages and you can start to say, okay, which treatments are effective? Because you group it all together. You have all the notes and all the information from every doctor's visit that every person's been to, what the diagnosis was, what the treatment was, what the symptoms were, what kind of medication was given, was it effective? So you already have all that information already exists, but having intelligence to look at it, do the quick correlations, quick decisions, things like that, you'll have faster and better, you would hope, diagnostics, right? And that's already happening. Medical episode groupers, I just see more of that, right? And there's been some companies that tried to do that with AI. It didn't do great, but that's not going to end, right? So expect hopefully enhanced faster diagnostics, maybe even from your phone, right? You just tell them the symptoms. They're like, here's your diagnostics, here's your treatment, and they can go through it that way. So absolutely, AI in medicine, genomic applications, custom treatments, custom medications. We're already starting to hear about that. You got the human genome mapped. AI can spin through that stuff really quickly, figure out, hey, this is the right medicine for you, cure cancer, whatever we're going to do. The dark side, we already hear about that, would be the things like AI would make it easier to make pathogens and do gain of function research. And there's already articles in the medical journals about that. So there's a dark side, right? All the AI comes with great potential, great responsibility, and great dangers, right? Automated surgery, maybe would you trust a robot to do a surgery on you? What if that's the only option you have? What if there's no surgeons in the area? What if it's been proven out and the robot's going to come in, do your heart surgery, do that complicated surgery? Probably not that far out, right? Well, we're starting to see that kind of thing. Telesurgery, hey, you're on the battlefield. We're just going to put the box next to you with the arms and it's just going to start stitching your wounds and doing the diagnostics. Probably not far out if we're not already there to some extent, right? So maybe that's a good thing on AI. All right, what are some negative things potentially? What about the police, right? Pre-crime. We all saw Minority Report, maybe. If you didn't, it's a good movie. Pre-crime and profiling. So if AI can track you, why couldn't it? Right, knows everything you've said because your phone's listening, I think, right? Not a big conspiracy there. Every text message you sent, it's consumed it. Every email you've sent, it's consumed it. Every phone call you've sent, it's consumed it. Has all the transcripts, knows all the conversations, knows everything you've purchased, everywhere you've gone because you got your phone and it's bouncing off the towers. We've got our tracker right there. Everything you've looked at on the internet, every book you've read. They're going to start building these profiles, or the AI will start building these profiles of what kind of person you are, likelihood of committing crime or anything it doesn't like, and possibly act, right? So how long is it before we start having things like pre-crime, right? When you start talking about AI knows everything about everyone and everything you're doing, and maybe it doesn't know everything you're thinking yet, but it's going to start building these profiles, right? A lot of that information already exists, but to be able to categorize, catalog it, act on it times, say, 300 plus million Americans, AI can do that. When you have entire data centers dedicated to just AI, I think we'll see more of that. Maybe there's already more of that happening. Maybe it won't be very publicized, but AI profiling, I think absolutely. There's again not much we can do about that. And then the military, we see robotics and AI. We see what's happening now with drones. I think drones are becoming a major player on the battlefield when we talk about military. We talk about robots, whether it's the big dogs, whether it's the drones, more AI, faster decision making, faster target acquisition. That's growing, right? And that can be pretty scary. I saw the videos of the Chinese drone swarms where you've got 10,000, 20,000 drones up in the air. If they're AI controlled and they can target, fly out individually, hit different things, little like 10,000 guided missiles swarming over a city. Seen some of the videos on that. That's pretty scary stuff. That's just the future, right? There's not much we can do to stop that. I don't see that changing. So what about AI, right? What happens when it's smarter than us, faster than us? And I know some people might be laughing at that and say, no, ChatGPT, it's just a fancy spell check. But at what point, how many millions of processors and billions of dollars at some point, if not already, is AI smarter than us? Is AI faster than us? Will it need us, right? And you know, there's a lot of people out there that talk about that kind of in the industry. Will it take the shape of its creators? Will it mimic the ethics of the programmers? Will it spin off on its own, right? There's already a situation where AI is really good at writing code. If it's not already happening, what happens when AI is writing AI? And you're going generational technology, generational layers at exponential speeds. So we might be on ChatGPT 4 now, but the moment AI is writing AI and faster AI, we're at GPT 4000 before you know it, right? Now that's just an example, but the idea of that rapid, ultra rapid iteration. Once again, we may not be there yet, but I feel like we're going in that direction as fast as we can, and we're investing as much money as possible to get in that direction as fast as we can. And what happens? What happens when AI is writing AI and it's no longer following the ethics of its creators or what's best for mankind, and starts looking at people and saying we suck, right? Don't know on that. I think that is the future we're going towards there pretty quickly, whether that's 5 years from now, 10 years from now. A lot of that is happening now. So what can you do? I know this is a little, I mentioned this before, empty your mind, be formless, shapeless like water. If you put water in a cup, it becomes a cup. You put water in a bottle, it becomes a bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes a teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. It's be flexible, right? That's the world we live in. Just like when the loom was first invented, the mechanical loom, all the loom workers rioted, they striked, they were going to lose their jobs, they burnt the looms. It didn't stop the loom from being created, right? The paradigm shifts, and once the paradigm shifts, there's no real going back, just like the cell phone. You know, that's a paradigm shift. You know, people see people saying, hey, forget about your cell phone, we're going back to pay phones and pagers, right? You don't hear that any more than you hear people saying get rid of the mechanical loom. Let's go back to weaving all of our textiles, all our fabrics by hand, right? The paradigm shifts, we keep going forward, but that's what I wanted to share, right? I was stacking my Roman armor, thinking about AI, and just wanted to jump in on that. I said, be water, be flexible. I think the next couple years, the next 5 years, we're going to see a lot of innovation. We're going to see the world change, and just to be mentally prepared to be flexible, right? Adapt, just be ready. Be ready for that kind of thing. So that's all I've got. Just want to share that. As always, thank you for watching, and we appreciate you. Just real quick, we're still doing the giveaway, right? We talked about the giveaway. Any comment on any of our videos that we get up until next Saturday is part of the video. So if you really want to win the angles, go comment on 10 of our videos, right? We're going to track all that. We're going to match all that up, pick a winner at random. So video giveaways still out there, but I do thank y'all for watching, guys, and I appreciate you.